And this week, you guys were at the Warrior Writers Combat Paper New Jersey workshop here in Atlantic, and I'm sure that you guys have seen your wonderful, beautiful art on the walls this week. So I just wanted to thank Washington School of Photography for allowing us to be here. Please go ahead and check out our pamphlets. They're on the front walkway when you come in. So if you're looking for a place to go or something to do during the week or the month, when you don't have something to do and you're not at hospital getting treatment, please let us know. We're happy to help you find some social places to visit or things to do. And otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Eli, who will take you through the rest of your, well, I don't think he'll take you through the rest of your evening, but Eli and Kevin will get you through the rest of the night.
Hello, thank you all for coming. So my name is Eli. I served in the Army as a combat medic from 2002 to 2008. And I discovered this program back in 2007 when it first started. And I've been a participant and now an instructor for the program ever since. So I love this job. I can't think of anything better than to be able to sit around with veterans and hear their stories. And I feel that that is something that's very important for us as a community, as a nation. We need to sit back and listen to veteran stories. The mission of the Combat Paper Project and Warrior Writers is to communicate those stories through creative art. Communicating the military experience through creative arts, and the tool that we utilize is handmade paper. We take our uniforms themselves that we wear in service and we deconstruct the uniforms. In doing so, we deconstruct our past experiences that we carry within the fibers of those uniforms, and we form handmade sheets of paper that you see in front of you today. And so that blank paper becomes a platform for veterans to communicate their stories. They can start over, they can start fresh with a blank slate, and that paper can become anything that they want it to be. And we feel very strongly that that individual experience that's carried within each veteran's past is important for them to tell themselves. We're trying to empower veterans to own their stories and to tell them in their own words, through their own images. Because if we rely on our media, if we rely on our politicians, if we rely on others besides ourselves to tell our stories, they will always get it wrong. And we want veterans to know that it's important that they stand up and share. And that's what we're here to do with you tonight. So we have our participants through this week are going to share some of the words that they wrote during the week, and if they want to talk about the art that they made, we're going to give them the opportunity to do that. And this is the main mission that we're here to focus on, is bridging that gap between veteran and civilian. So if you want to sit back and listen, we have some stories to tell. So I'm going to turn it over to my co-facilitator, Kevin Basil, who's our Warrior Writers instructor, and he's going to lead you through the reader. So thank you all very much.
My name is Kevin Basil. I served in the Army from 2003 to 2008. I deployed to Iraq twice, and when I got back from Iraq, I went back to college. I thought I'd be full of confidence that I would be ready to talk about my experiences in the military, deployed, but I found that I was silent. I couldn't talk about it. For 2 years, I didn't talk about it until I found Warrior Writers, the creative writing component of the workshops that Eli just told me about. So everybody's going to get the opportunity to hear some of the readings, as Eli said. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'll just ask that each participant who gets up to read, please just provide a little background about yourself, what you're comfortable with. So first up we have Sean Miller.
Hello everyone. My name is Sean. I've been in the Navy for about a year and a half. I'm only 19 years old, and that is these three are mine, but that one over there with all the creepy little ghouls in the background is the one that I'm going to read about. So, ode to my inner demons. 6 devils keep me trapped in my wake up and they leer at me, good morning, sunshine. I take a look in the mirror, depression is looking back. I start the day with a quick prayer and leave my room. Fear takes a seat on my shoulder. My old friend is back so soon. So many people, too many people, I can't breathe. My anxiety is taking over me. Why is everyone looking at me? Stop staring. There's nothing to see. They're about to turn out the worst in me, and I'm fighting her the most because she's the strongest. Too late. It's anger's turn to come out and play. I feel a high when my body is filled with rage, but I'm about to fall, and I can feel it coming. Now hopelessness takes lead. Why am I here? What is there for me? I need to sleep. I'm feeling tired. I lay my head down to rest, but thoughts of death are just getting started.
Thanks, Sean. Hey, next up, David Hall.
Good afternoon. I guess I'll actually start with pointing out this piece. I actually just wrote a quick little message on it. I'll read it to you. When you look at the picture, you see a tree. I see a portrait of me, missing leaves as I'm also missing emotion. Patiently, I'll stand tall and wait for my spring season so my leaves, emotions can slowly return. Labels. You call him, you call him, you call him, but he doesn't answer. You call him a soldier. You call him a leader, but he no longer responds. You call him disabled. You call him handicapped, but he only smiles, then walks, limps, or rolls away. You call him a veteran. You call him hero, but he only gives you a blank stare. You call him too aggressive. You call him angry, but now he smirks, turns, and walks away. You call him different. You call him stranger, but if you really look into his eyes, you can see a glimpse of his pain. You call him, you call him, you call him, well, you never truly call him by his name. Thank you.
Next up, Joe Meredith.
My name is Joe. I enlisted in the Marine Corps in 2006. I'll be getting out April 24th of this year. Found a combat paper about a year ago while I was an outpatient, and started going through a long process over a year and rehabilitating myself and going through this journey, and now have the opportunity to get back and help out as a facilitator. One of the things I've been really thinking and struggling with a lot, now being on the other end, is like taking other people's pains. And recently I had a couple of friends that committed suicide, so I wrote some pieces about that. So the very first one was actually the letter that he wrote me about a week before. Dear Joe, I cried 2 tears out of my left eye. One fell from my right. I don't know how to breathe anymore. Maybe there are no more tears. Why can't I cry? This was your question? We won't know now. How many sleeping pills did it take to quiet your thirst for a tear? That's not what gets everyone. Another one cried 1 tear from his right eye and 2 small pearls of sadness from his left. He wrote that on the note sitting on his childhood bed. He painted the walls with his thoughts on a 45. He said he felt too guilty. The casket was closed, so he wouldn't have to look at us in the eyes. I drown in these tears. You gave up when you didn't learn to cry. If sorrow is what kills me, January, its legion of assassins, stabbed to death by tombstones, bludgeoned by one more day you didn't live. You said you didn't know how to cry anymore. When these January showers float me through another year, I wake up in February.
Next, Rena.
So I'm not actually reading my own work. I am reading the work
workout participant who could not be here tonight. Her name is Captain Allison Sutter. So this is her piece right here, and this is hers as well. So she's an active duty Air Force captain, and this is her writing. My safe place. If I could have just one moment to let it all go, one moment to just forget, one moment to breathe in hope instead of hurt, I'd find that one moment wrapped in your warm embrace, to spare me from the fear of dying alone, to relieve me from the responsibilities of carrying this guilt, to set me free of the pain I hold on to. I'd find it in your warm embrace. How many more sleepless nights must I endure? How many more meaningless exchanges must I go through? How much more must I fake until I make it? I could let it all go if I was secure in your warm embrace. Just let it all go, just give it all away, just for a moment, just for an instance, just for the relief to say I don't have to keep it all together, just so that you could take it all away, just so I could feel something other than sadness and sickness and sorrow and shame. If I could just have one moment please, to let it all go, one moment to forget, I'd find that moment wrapped safely and securely in your protective presence and warm embrace. And this is her other one. It's labeled, it's called PTSD. If I didn't know you, I'd be okay. There's no reason to have you in my life. I was happier before you, happier before you. I wanted to scrape you out, scrape my skin from inside out, scrape the lipid layers clean of you. Salt solution swish in my brain, burn you away, scrub down my hands, my feet, my lips, the places you still exist like my ears, intricately delete you from my memories, pick you out with a tweezer man tweezer, constrict my tongue so I can't speak of you, rehydrate my eyes so I can clearly see through you and your lies, your bullshit, your fakeness, your self-absorption, your ego, and your stupid cheap smile. Get over yourself, then go fuck yourself. I know exactly why you are here. I just don't know exactly how. How have I let you hang on for so long? But the one thing's for sure, there's no reason for you to be here. And if I didn't know how, I know I'd be okay.
Okay, and our last reader for this evening will be Young.
Good evening. My name is Willie Young, and I've been in the Army for 19 years. I'm a military police officer, combat deployed, and I wrote something that I like to share. This first one's called Droplets. If I inked 3 tears high on my cheek, would you believe that I could cry? If I drew 2 wings upon my back, would that mean that I could fly? With a question mark on my forehead, would you still keep asking why? If I write forgive me across my chest, does that mean I'll never die? When I take the name of KIAs and scroll them on my arm, its length will make you stop and stare and cause you some alarm. Youngsters will clutch their mother's thighs, but I mean them no harm. I consider it a talisman, a twisted good luck charm. So when I take the artist's chair and lie down on my back, the tattoo gun will start the buzzing, sounding the attack. The needles spit out many colors, reds and greens and black. But rip the flesh right off my bones, it still won't bring them back. This last one is called All the Answers. My son asked me the question, Dad, what was it like? I said, son, if you've done it once, it's just like falling off a bike. No, that's a bad example. It's like getting tangled up in a kite. You know what, son? Go to bed. That's enough for tonight. Now don't you dare go judge me. Just what would you have done? Told him how you killed a teenager who didn't even have a gun? Would you tell him of the battles lost, the ones he thought he won? I can't keep acting like I'm having fun because my memories weigh a ton. When he woke up without his answer, he decided to make a fuss. He asked, Dad, what was it like when your boots were in the dust? Slipping, I said, when they yelled, Allah Akbar, we yelled back, in God we trust. And when we shot those motherfuckers, they bled just like us.
That was our reading for tonight, but please stick around and check out the artwork. We'll be here to answer any questions that you have, and stop by the information table before you leave. Plenty of food here, and thanks again for coming.